Hey there, thanks for joining me in today's training. Today, I want to talk to you about how to guarantee a positive return on investment for your practice. And as a bonus, I'm going to share with you how we were able to add $1 million in annual recurring revenue for one of our clients. Now, this is our rank and grow system. I'm going to share with you under the hood, share my screen with you how all of this actually works. Let's go ahead and get started. Now, today's training is for plastic surgeons, cosmetic surgeons, dermatologists, gynecologists, med spa owners, nurse practitioners, really anybody that's trying to grow an aesthetic practice of cash pay procedures. Okay. Now, if you're wondering, who am I? Who is this guy? My name is Michael. I've been working with aesthetic practices for many years now. I've worked with over 200 practices all over the country. I am no stranger to the OR. I know what it looks like to run a practice from a marketing and sales perspective. I've spent a lot of personal face-to-face time with doctors and their patients to understand their inefficiencies, to understand what actually works, what doesn't work. And I was actually able to build my own seven-figure digital marketing agency. But this video is not about me and how awesome I am or anything like that. Instead, what I did is I've scaled back my agency and I've only kept the stuff that I know can actually guarantee a positive return on investment for you. And this is what I'm here to talk to you about, our rank and grow system. Now, what we do is we use the rank system to establish foundations that are critical. I'll share with you what those are. And in today's training, not at the end, but in the middle, I'm going to share with you what our growth strategy is to actually scale a practice like yours. Now, let's get started. I want to run through these pretty quickly so that we can get to the meat, and I want to share with you a lot more about how the strategy works. So the first foundation is controlling your own destiny. Number two is running a cash flow machine. Number three is owning an automated practice. And finally, the bonus, well, I'll share with you how we're actually able to do this for one of our clients. Now, foundation number one, let's talk about taking back control of your practice. And what I mean by that is, look, you may or may not, or maybe you're thinking about hiring a marketing agency right now. And really, this is going to be phased out pretty soon. So what marketing agencies do is there's a management fee, and they usually ask for a little bit more money to spend ads. And eventually what they do is it might work pretty well for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, but eventually you get to a different audience that just doesn't know who you are. You get a bunch of tire kickers, cancellations. You feel like it's a failure. Maybe you lost money, and it's just never good for anybody in that situation. And so instead, what I proposed to one of our first clients, Dr. Kazai, I said, hey, doctor, you know what? Let's try something. I've got this system. Let's see if this works for you. So what we did, we ran one campaign. I'm going to share with you here today. He, from that campaign, booked over over $105,000 in potential patients. I will tell you, he closed over $50,000 in 60 days of high-end procedures, the procedures he wants to actually do. This is the new way, the way of the future, with a system that can actually help you do these things without actually needing to run or hire an agency. So Dr. Kazi now has the ability to save his own cash. He has the ability to plan events, and he understands that he can do this because his SMS marketing is dirt cheap compared to spending thousands and thousands of dollars every single month for years on end. And lastly, he's actually able to go through people that know, like, and trust him. Now, it was only one campaign that we sent, one text message. Let's go ahead and take a look. Now, if you look at Dr. Kazai, you can see here in the blue, he says, hi, name of the patient. This is Dr. Kazai. I want to share with you a special offer to take $500 off any surgical procedure. Now, this is just what he chose to do. You do not have to give a discount or have any $500 off. But what you'll notice, if you look back here, the patient responds, says, awesome. Can you tell me how much it will be for me? Come to the next day, she reaches back out to the practice. Hey, I need to schedule surgery, please. And then lastly, she ends up saying, hey, do you want me to make a payment? I'm ready to pay you. I want to get on the surgery calendar. So here's the recap. You can do all of this on your own. I proved it out. It works. You don't need a marketing agency anymore and spending thousands and thousands of dollars, especially if it's not a positive return on investment for you. Okay. So foundation number two, let's keep moving, running a cash flow machine. Now, after spending time with hundreds of doctors, I will tell you that usually there's a lot of inefficiencies, and that's normal. Okay. But inefficiencies cost money. Missed messages cost money. Missed phone calls cost money. And it's because it's really not your fault. Look, there's so many channels out there. People that want to reach out to you, they have so many different ways. They're busy, they're doing things, dropping off kids, going to school, and you're doing all these other things, taking kids to soccer practice. And so they've got website forums or web chats, and they reach out on Facebook and Instagram and Google and phone calls. And I mean, you name it, you're so busy. And especially if you have one person, or maybe you're that one person that answers all these phone calls. So most practices, don't feel bad if you're one of these, but most practices lose a ton of money with poor lead management and follow-up. So again, this is not your fault. So what I want to share with you though, is if you want to collect more cash, just try to run with the system that will allow you to never miss another potential patient. This is exactly what we give you. So as you can see here on the left, these are all the patients. And so you can see and manage every opportunity now. You can add tags for multiple providers if you have them in your practice. And you can also add tags for different services. So that way you're clear on which patients want which services. Now, here's the recap for foundation number 2 as we move forward. Again, never miss another patient opportunity. And I believe you're guaranteed to close more sales. Why? Because you're closing up all those big holes in your leaky bucket. Now, foundation number 3 for guaranteeing a positive return on your investment is I want you to start thinking about owning an automated practice. If you take a look at your practice and, answer these for yourself, but here are the symptoms of a manually run practice. They don't know how many calls are missed. They don't know how many appointments canceled, how many no-shows. They may not know how many consults bought that day or didn't buy and this day or that day. They don't know how many follow-ups are being sent and 5-star review requests. All these things are critical, and especially the 5-star review request, because if you've done a great job, you should get more than just being paid your money. You should actually get a review from that. And so here's what I'm hoping that you do. Use a system that can have this built-in efficiency for you. So in the event that you miss a call, no worries, the system will take care of it. If you have an inbound patient inquiry and you're just busy at the time because maybe you're in surgery or you're meeting with the patient and doing a consult, no worries, the system will help take care of it. What about appointment reminders, no-show, and follow-up sequences? And guess what? Automated 5-star review requests. These are all available here for you when you use our rank system. Now, let's take a look at an example. This is very interesting to see. This is a follow-up sequence for somebody they may no-show you. Now, you may have this problem right now, or maybe cancellation. But what you can see here, if you want, you can pause the video, but you'll see there's a series of emails and text messages that can be sent out on your behalf without you having to lift a finger. So what I'm asking you to do is leverage technology, because this is what actually helps you grow your business, because you have support now. You can send out thousands of messages without you having to lift a finger, without your staff having to do much of anything. And when you do this, patients now start realizing, hey, I think this doctor cares about me. I think he really understands that I need some help. Now, recap for number 3, owning an automated practice strategically leverages technologies to support you, your practice. So now it's time for the bonus round. This is where we're going to get into the meat of the strategy of how we actually grow once all those foundations are in place. Now, I want to say that twice so that you understand. Foundations must be in place for you to see massive amount of growth, just like we did for Dr. Schoonover. He was able to add $1 million. I want to make that clear, not just to get to $1 million. I'm talking about adding $1 million to his practice, which he really needed to do for not only him, his family, his staff, and really he just wants to help patients. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to grab my pen, and I'm going to show you on whiteboard the strategy that we use that I hope that you can start employing here in your practice. So the way that I teach this when I have practices that want to learn our growth strategy is I would like to discuss this through a marketing funnel. Now, if you've never seen a marketing funnel, this is going to be perfect. If you already have, this will be a great overview. So what we have out there right now is we have an audience in your local market that does not know you. So I'm going to put DNK. They do not know you. And the objective is how many people can we get to not know you, from not knowing you to actually knowing who you are, to turning those people into actually liking you, to finally trusting you, so that way, guess what? When they come all the way down, they can come into your practice, give you money, and go back out. But guess what they're going to do? They're going to come right back in to the funnel, because the next time you run a promo, the next time you go out and buy a device, the next time you get more of maybe a new laser or any other service or procedure that you offer, they come back in the funnel and they're ready to buy again because they already trust you. So Remember what I said earlier about running the cash flow machine? This is exactly what our rank system does for you. This is your cash flow machine now that helps you see and realize all this cash because you're not missing any more opportunities. So if you were the type of practice that only wanted to do this, use the rank system, be so much more efficient and attack or offer, let's not use the word attack, but go after your existing patient database. I've worked with clients that have had upwards of 20,000 people in their database, amazing opportunities. And right there, you could live off that alone. You wouldn't even need to necessarily market. You could just go use the cash flow machine. You're off and you're doing well. But if I'm speaking to somebody right now that needs to do more than that, maybe you don't have the luxury of having 500 people. Maybe you have no patients. Maybe you're just starting your med spa. Maybe you're a brand new nurse practitioner that has a new feminine rejuvenation device, and you really want to know, how do I get this out there? Because I really need to make this work for you. Well, I want to talk to you about, how do you get the people who don't know you and who have no idea who you are? How do you get them in this funnel to know you, to like you and trusting you so they can give you money? Let's go ahead and talk about how to do that. This over here is our grow strategy. So let's talk about Amy. This is a new patient here, or a potential new patient that is out there. And let's give her a name. Let's call her Amy. So Amy today, she has a certain way that she looks. And that way that she looks makes her feel a certain way about herself. And because of that, she has a certain level of confidence. Now, maybe all of three of these are just not where they really need to be. She knows that, and maybe that's why she's looking for some treatment here. Or maybe, just for the sake of arguments, let's just kind of leave it at that for now. But let's say at some point in the future, Amy's like, I want to do something about this. I've got those spider veins in my legs. I've got rosacea in my face. I want to do some laser hair removal. And so Amy's like, you know what? There's no reason for me not to go do this. Let me go see if I can take care of this, because I want to improve the way that I look. And I think that that's going to help me feel a little bit better. And that's going to raise my confidence right there. And so all three of these things, she know that they can be up there, and she wants to know, who do I trust? Who can I go and I want to go buy some of this stuff? Well, yeah, she could go to Google for sure. And she could, go in there and type in some words and find somebody, and that might happen. But what's really going to happen is Amy's going to figure out, and she's going to look online, and she's going to say, okay, is there somebody out there that can grab my attention? And hopefully that's you, because you are the solution. You already know it. You have all these devices, and you're a good doctor and a good provider. And so, hey, Amy, I can take care of you. You're my ideal patient. I just want to talk to you. How can I get to your attention? So this is what we do, which is what we teach you. And this is part of the growth strategy. We want you to create content so that when the Amy of today, right down here, can be the Amy of tomorrow. And so what she does is she goes through this progression where she sees your content and she starts moving up this ladder to eventually she starts realizing, hey, wait a minute. I think I like that doctor, and I think I want to call them. I think I'm ready. So how do we do this? How do we get there to move and see all this? Well, what I want you to do is I want you to think about creating content. So let's just talk about general content. Maybe we'll also do some personal content just to make it fun and free, on social media. Maybe we'll do some Q&A content. Maybe you'll do some procedural content, maybe, showing what the procedure is. Maybe you'll do some promo content, and so on and so forth. I mean, we have a whole list of things that you can do definitely to make sure that this works for you. But the idea here is that you're sharing, you're giving, and there's a certain type of strategy that we like for you to use. But what happens is, over time, Amy comes in to your practice. She is no longer unaware of you. She has full awareness of who you are. She has now come to like you. She now has trust for you, and she is pre-sold. So this is our growth strategy that we use to add $1 million for our client. And that was an annual recurring revenue. Okay. This is our growth system over here. This right here is our rank system, where we use the cash flow machine to make sure you don't miss opportunities. I hope that you see how both of these work and how they're tied together. If you want to go after your existing patient database and just turn on the cash flow machine, have at it. Good. I'll show you the price here in just a minute. Or if you're one of those doctors out there that's like, you know what, I need to grow more. I want to see numbers like this. Use our growth strategy. This is exactly what we do for clients on an everyday basis. So I'll have a little bit more to share with you. I want to share with you what this looks like at a different level. So now that you understand how the strategy works fundamentally, let's talk about what the content might look like. Now, this is Dr. Schoonover's Facebook page. I want to share with you first, before I get started, that this does not have to be only on Facebook. This could be done on Instagram. This could be done on TikTok. This could be done on YouTube. Either way, I prefer you do Facebook or Instagram, but it's really up to you and really up to the audience. We talk to you about how that all that actually works in our growth system, our growth strategy. So let's take a look at some of the behind the scenes numbers of how some of this content actually performed online. So here we got Dr. Schoonover. We got 5,000 views on this one, 5,000 views on this one, 5,000, 11,000, 6,000, 7,500, 14,000, 10,000, 9,000. Now, not all of them are big winners and big hitters, because there are a few above here that are 300s, but we got 9,000, another 5, almost 6,000. So what we're doing here is, look, this is what we're doing. We're putting out content. We're letting people know who we are so that they can like us and then finally trust us. When we do this and we put ourselves on camera, and we can share with you how to actually make sure that this works for you. This is really what starts attracting people to you who are pre-sold, who come in, book consultations, and who are ready to give you money for their procedures. Let's go back to the presentation. I have a few more things to share with you. So after all this years of work that Dr. Schoonover has put in, he's followed our rank and growth system. I want to share with you that he is the beneficiary now of pulling in about 40 to 60 leads organically through his website. I'm sure he has tons of more phone calls as well. But what he does is he gets people all the time, almost every day, literally coming in saying, hey, I need a tummy tuck. Hey, I want a mommy makeover. Hey, let's talk about liposuction now. Hey, I saw your awesome video on blepharoplasty. All these procedures, he comes in, they're almost pre-sold, and he is booked out. Well, I don't need to get too much in his business, but he is extremely booked out right now. And this is how you make your practice grow with a guaranteed return on investment. So I just wanted to share with you before we move a little bit further along. Now, as a final recap, if you establish the right foundations with our rank system, those are the core foundations that we really want you to employ here, then you can use the growth strategy that we teach to actually scale your practice. Now, if you like what you hear today and you've had your aha moment, like, wow, this is exactly what I need, I really want to learn more, how can you help me? Then let's talk about the next steps. The goal here that I have, first off, was just to help you in this training, but also to understand if this is a good fit, because it may not be a good fit, and that's okay with me. But if this is, we should at least have that conversation. If you're curious, because I know that you're busy, hey, what does this cost? I really like to know before I even move forward. I want to share this with you. We do require an investment to install our rank system. All right, that takes time. Got to put all these things set in place. So we do require an investment. And if we feel like it's a really good fit, and there's parameters that we look at, if we feel like it's a really good fit, we may actually want to teach you our growth strategy. But the first thing that we really want to do, if you're just getting started, if you really just want to get on this train to make sure that you can scale as high as you want, then come in, you can pay the one-time install fee, and you can start at only $297 per month. I like to share the price with you so that you're upfront, forward, and honest. So that way, hey, maybe there's another solution out there where I can take control of my marketing. I can understand that I don't have to have a leaky bucket anymore. I can run an automated practice, and I can make money, guaranteed positive return on investment. If that sounds like you, this is exactly what you've been looking for, then I recommend you book a call with us. You can message me. Also, my name is Michael, and my email is michael@RankSurgeons. Or, as I said, book a call with me. You can either click the link below, or there's probably a link somewhere where you can book online or even on our website, okay? Either way, I encourage you to really think about this system. I thank you for your time here today, and good luck. Take care.